Let's find out. Again, we have not gone all 3-game series yet throughout NA Division 1. This might be the first one. Yeah. Very, very excited.
Yeah, and it just shows you how close these teams are. Like, this revitalized bait line of just... It's pretty damn promising, but Wildcard has also shaped up. Are going for a bit of a smoke on smoke, at least.
We'd love to see a smoke on smoke before that minute mark, but this time around, neither side are going to run into each other. Both sides going completely opposite ways. So many first bloods occurring in these NA games as well, right? Like, I feel like every game we see, these teams are just running at each other 5v5, and I said there was going to be no first blood this time, but look at this. Wildcard, they've wrapped around the whole map. They want the fight. Very deep observer war to get started. They're prepping. They really want a great start. Can't quite blame them. They've got the high ground advantage now as well, and they must know bait's around here somewhere. They want to fight underneath that vision, though. They're going to wait very patiently. Moose is going to be spotted. Is that the target they want? Who goes in first? It's going to be Babidic. In fact, Shards is there. They've got Dendi. That's a great target, but the Split Earth does not connect.
Oh,
what?
No. They lose all bounty runes as well.
Oh, boy. How did that miss? You know, I don't want to be that guy, John. Well, we do have a short video with Dendi, John. A great segue here. We're going to ask Dendi how he feels going into the NA DPC, so let's have a hear from Dendi.
Yeah, it's important to show people in NA and around the world how great the game is. So show them how great the competitive part of the game is, because, you know, I'm 33 years old and I'm still playing Dota, and I'm super hungry and I'm excited because competitive Dota for me is like, you know, the thing that I love the most in the game, and I really want to share this feel of love with the community. And this hopefully will make more people come to play the game. And yeah, I think everybody in NA need to do some step ups, like do more marketing, you know, like to bring more new players and stuff like this. Do steps forward this direction. So we're gonna have bigger player base, and it's gonna be much more competitive in the future.
Well, there you go. You heard from Dendi. Of course, we did have First Blood going on while Dendi was speaking, but nevertheless, I do agree with him, John. It's very important to market the game, you know, get some new players in. But it's always a pleasure to have older players like himself in the game.
Yeah, and of course, he knows his status. Just having him around does does bring people in, and getting that interest in is important. So it's something great for Dendi, right? And he still loves the game, of course. Sharing that passion is always good. Still, going back to what you were saying with that rotation, I don't know how you missed one. That was such a missed opportunity that just snowballed into the feeding First Blood.
Top lane. Nice cookie out onto Arc. He's getting very deep for this. He might just drop it. No. 19 HP survives on. Samson now going to try and get something for their trouble. Funnick, he'll go for a run and he'll be just fine. They don't have any spells to throw out. So Funnick barely going to survive, though. He does stick around. Very aggressive positioning from Funnick. They seem to want to try and see if they can catch out Arc here. Samson's going to run right back in. Though Samson, I don't know if he has the damage on his own. Sammy, this is very risky, sir. He's trying. Sammy, no.
Why? Oh, what's happening? Wildcard Gaming.
They're doing that NA thing again, John.
What's this NA thing,
They're doing. Well, you just saw it, Jonathan.
Yeah, that commitment all in is just not great. Even the bot lane is not fun for them. He's so low.
Yeah, low down. He's going to run. He will drop. Wildcard, they'll get something.
Yeah, it's a consolation prize. It's a little bit of revenge for Flea after dropping that First Blood. This lane is pretty interesting from Wildcard as well. Undying versus Troll. It can be pretty good for the Undying in the first few levels. Troll can't really stop you for the most part, and it's hard for him to commit. And it really hurts Lowdyne. It takes away a lot of damage from that Treant, takes away a lot of his presence. The Sunlight should have a pretty decent time, although Stonebank isn't really being pressured. You find that kill in the support, sure. But the Troll, it's farming anyway. It doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, and you kind of heard it from our panel as well. Like, with the Troll versus Ursa matchup later on, generally speaking, it does favor the Troll because these two just want to hit each other, and Troll tends to survive because he does have Battle Trance. So, off to a good start. Stonebank, he'll be happy with that. Wildcard need to obviously ensure that their own carry has a great start, but it's not so much the case for Arc, considering he was so low for such a long time waiting out that regen. Not so much anymore, but does have some catching up to do on this Ursa. How's the mid lane? Babbage against Dendi. So far favoring Dendi. Love seeing Dendi on that SF, by the way, Jonathan. Of course, you and I are very old school players. We remember the days where Dendi used to play this non-stop in the mid lane back in the Na'Vi days, back in my day.
Yeah, the classic times, that classic lineup. You know, reunite with Funnick, it does bring some memories back there as well. Like, still, the mid lane it's actually probably the most important lane now for Wildcard, considering how their side lanes are going. And even this lane for Babbage, it's not amazing. Dendi just managed to control that lane really well. Shadow Races just feel so good. Every time the Lesh tries to come in to clear out the wave, easily punishable. And if Dendi gets this kind of strong start, then it gets a bit rough for having these 3 heroes that are just behind, especially Sunlight. It feels like if you're an Undying core and you're just behind, you don't contribute. You turn into a support on that core position, and suddenly you're just stuck with 2 cores and what almost feels like 3 supports. The impact just becomes really hard to get once you do lag behind that laning phase.
Yeah. Progression in this mid lane, Dendi just getting so much HP out of Babbage. Forcing a TP rotation that does get cancelled off as well. A lot of action here in the mid lane. Babbage are very far behind in terms of CS right now, only 15-3 compared to the 23-7 of Dendi. Just can't really contest. Like, the SF with these raises is just so painful, and that you land 2 of them and that slow can be quite obnoxious to try and play against. Just trying his best to remain in the lane, but oh yeah, he got taken out real good there. Place to stick it down. That's a Giga Chat sticker right there. You love to see it. Meanwhile, top lane, a bit of a chase onto Arc. Not going to pan out to too much. Samson, he's going to try to fight back, but the toss out is there. Snowball back his way. Moose still going. Nice little avalanche. Samson still tanking through it. Shards out. Way off the mark. Funnick might just drop, though it does get a nice cookie away back towards the south, so Wildcard find nothing.
Yeah, Bait were just dancing around them every lane. Maybe the bot lane's going a little bit better, Stonebank.
You say that, Stonebank. So close to dying the zombie. Not going to be quite enough.
Ooh,
Sunlight.
okay.
He's got decay. It'll be enough. Woo.
Very needed kill coming out. Oh no.
Yeah, that's a problem. Moose is rotated. Avalanche will cancel. He's still got plenty of strength with all these decay stacks, but it's probably not going to prove to be enough. He's got another. We'll pop it, but he's not tanky enough. Moose and Lowdime will get the job done.
That feels really bad for Sunlight. Doesn't have a TP back. Gonna have to walk in. Lots of space for Stonebank to kind of catch up. At least one quick wave or 2 to catch up with. And again, just going back to that point, Bait are playing this laning phase really well in comparison to Game 1. Whereas in Game 1, they were dropping a lot more kills but working the map efficiently. This time, they're fighting a lot better in lanes. And we've got to see Wildcard, if they want to kind of get this momentum going their way mid-game, they've got to be efficient on the map, as we saw Bait do in Game 1. And they can certainly do that. My one concern is still really Sunlight, because once this Undying falls behind, I mean, you can farm, you can use Tombstone in your shards to just kind of clear out camps, but we haven't seen that since the Pause 1 Undyings back in the last tour.
See what he does. Kind of goes back to the panel saying as well, like, you don't really have many stuns in this draft for Wildcard. Like, it's kind of hard to set up kills, so you are playing a bit more of a passive game up until you are ready to just fight with your farm. Shards out, Funnick. He's going to get caught top lane, but he's always got the cookie. Snowball from Sammy, very patient with that, and he does take the kill. Meanwhile, towards the east side, though, Babbage does get caught out. So you find yourself a snap fire, but you lose your Leshrac like that, and it's just not great news. You do require Babbage to have a very good game on this Lesh to set a tempo for your team, and that's just not happening.
It's not. And Dendi's also clearing out a couple of small stacks in the jungle. He's been feeling really good. There's no pressure on his tier 1 mid. They're just really stalling these timings from Wildcard. The Leshrac is that early tempo coming out from them. Sunlight is still trying to kind of force around Stonebank. Again, every time he gets double decay, does feel good. Babbage is here.
Lowdime. Targeted. Still pretty tanky. See if he can land the stun. No, he's off the mark. That's not an easy one to land, to be fair to Babbage. That's a hard one. Put the hand up. No high five for you, Babbage. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here.
It's a lot of space, man. It's so much space. Like, mid's just free, then he just gets to farm that jungle just fine. In fact, he's looking for an angle from behind here.
Yeah, Arc though.
Babbage? Oh boy.
Top lane, Arc in a bit of danger. Babbage, meanwhile, bottom lane does get caught out. Tips to Dendi. Top lane still going, Arc. Still trying to fight, trying to avoid the kisses, but can't do anything.
This laning, this is rough. Bait are playing so well. Dendi camping the high ground there. Really sweet. Old school plays. You know who used to do that? Wasn't it like Mushi who used to do that? Or Ohio, right? Was it Ohio or Mushi? One of them with the SF.
Sunlight. Top lane, he's going to come in. All by himself pretty much, trying to move in, but the cookie did land. Snowball will be there from Sammy. They'll try to move in onto Funnick, but it's very hard. You don't have much lockdown. They at least find the Snapfire in the end. So the rotation does kind of pay off. Sunlight, he'll take over the top lane. Looks like the old carry will move over. Arc into the mid lane instead. It's just very hard to try and force these fights. If you see it over and over again, you don't have much lockdown here for Wildcard.
It's so hard to catch him out. It's all down to Sammy.
Well, Lodine's been caught. Sammy doing a great job with these shards. Lodine almost getting that Roshan deny, but not quite. Another nice pick up here for Sammy.
It works out. You're starting to build up a bit, but I don't think this really hurts Bait. You're just killing off the supports right now. You're giving free space to Stonebank to work onto his Maelstrom. You're still a ways off from your Ursa Battle Fury this game. It's a real long way off. And just look at Bait's vision. So much good vision behind that tier 1, between the tier 2, watching the ramp sides. They've got a lot to play with. And Wildcard, they're just figured out. The vision's just pretty damn good.
Dendi, he's trapped up. That's a great shot once again from Sammy, locking down Dendi, and this will be a much bigger pick-off. The SF having such a great game thus far, but they do take him out. Arc the one to take the kill. Props to good old Sammy boy. These shards have been on target.
He's really been setting up for the team. Yeah, these kill opportunities, just making use of their one support stun so efficiently, it's a big deal. You know, it's buying them their own space as well on top of that, and it's getting some room out. You have to stall for quite a while for Arc, and you're still recovering on Babbage as well. This Bloodstone's not going to be that fast. Bait still has a lot of tempo to play with. They can stall out the push with Lodine's Treant Protector as well. So it's going to be hard to find map space. You're going to need to go for those pick-off plays. Every single one counts. There are some key timings in Bait, though, coming out later on, but trying to make moves down bot, it's a tricky Treant to catch out. The big thing for Bait here, Moose is actually quickly approaching a blink. That is scary. Just having that initiation coming out from your 4 at maybe the 15-minute mark, it's a massive tool that Wildcard doesn't have the same kind of tool to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. The early blink on the tiny is always a very nice kind of thing to have. Bottom lane still being forced in here by Sunlight. Modine trying to slow this down as best as possible, but since Sunlight is not backing off and still has the siege creep going. Siege creep hopefully will get the job done here on this tier 1 tower. Glyph to be forced out as well. Lodine still trying his absolute best to heal this tower up. It seems like he may have succeeded in the defense for now. And he will. It does survive just a little bit longer. Meanwhile, mid lane, Moose currently staring at Babbage. They'll fight over some power runes. It's going to be a double damage. Dendi is going to back off. He's not going to try and contest seeing Arc around the corner. The Moose has not moved. Still trying to look to set up here in this mid lane if he can. Doesn't seem like he's going to have quite the opportunity.
Yeah, they're still really playing around this vision they have quite nicely, although it will expire soon. It doesn't look like they have that big opportunity. They could try to pressure that mid-tier 1, and Dendi does have the damage to kind of back that up now with the maxed out Necromastery. So they're going to force that defense out. They do have Global Silence now on Flea. It's at least one more tool in the team fight, but again, it's down to really Sammy and Babbage to find the stuns. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to chase them down.
It's being drawn out bottom lane once again. At least for Wildcard, they want to try and make a move. Open up the map a little bit here for their end of things. You've got to give some kind of farming area for Arc on this Ursa. So that bottom tier 1 does have to drop eventually. Lodine still around defending it though, still just slowly healing it up. That living armor. Very annoying against this Train Protector. Seems like they finally get away with the tier 1 though. Get that Diabolic Edict to come in. That'll open up the map, the bottom side of the map here for Arc to get that farm going on the Ursa. Battle Fury timing, not going to be the absolute worst, but not the best either. Obviously, he had a pretty tough lane for himself. Compared to, say, the Troll, who's almost at that Maelstrom timing now. Looks like Stowbank will be much happier with the way the game is gone.
I think the one thing for Wildcard as well, going back to what the panel said, the core Undying build of, say, Mage Slayer, Echo Saber, it's really not coming out. It's just all durability now for Sunlight. Early mech up. What's concerning is you have the exact same items on Funnick. So your core Undying is just matching the spots for Snapfire. Not the best feeling in the world. And Funnick's just been having an outstanding time right now.
Yeah. He has a lot of farm on old Funnick. Mid lane. Smoke is there. Flea. Really the only person around right now, but they might just go for the easy kill onto the silencer. Moose wouldn't mind the gold. He'd love it for that blink dagger, and up he goes. That'll be Flea gone. Funnick to take the kill on the snap. That mid tier 1 tower going to be under siege, and Dendi's going to make very short work of it. No problems here.
And we still takes that last hit as well. So close to that blink. Just about 300 gold away. Even more initiation coming through. Again, that timing just pretty damn quick for the pause 4. Wildcard, 4k behind. It still need a little bit more space out for Arc. Once that Battle Fury's up, maybe take a team fight into Roche. That's going to be the objective. Look at this wrap from Bait.
Yeah, looks very, very strong. Sunlight. He's got the Tombstone, but may not have an opportunity to throw it down. Just so much damage being dealt already by Moose. There you go. There's your Flesh Golem. There's your Tombstone. And in fact, they are going to turn it. This is not looking great at all for the side of Baitas. Now Stonebank. He gets caught in the shards by Sammy. Battle Trance has been popped preemptively, just trying to fight this one out. In fact, that's a lot of damage. Babbage. Oh, Babbage. They go too far, and they will get punished. A triple kill out for Stonebank.
That's a bit rough. These missed split Earths are just giving opportunities. Stonebank right on the edge, manages to get the Battle Trance on, and Wildcard, it's really lagging behind now. 16 minutes in, 6k behind, tier 1 bot to fall. The pushing pace of Bait is there with a Troll. Maelstrom fully up on Stonebank. It's like a pretty big truck. And for the side of Wildcard, there's just not too much they can do. Arc.
Yeah, getting chased down the Ursa, but does pop the Enrage, so we'll be able to get out just fine. 7k advantage now for Bait. It's a massive lead at the 16.5-minute mark. Rotations to come, Wildcard. Show up, Sunlight, he'll start moving in with the decays. Shards, not going to be on target this time around, and it just goes back to the lockdown issue. You just don't have a stun. If the shards don't land, you've got nothing.
It's a tricky one for Wildcard. They've been trying to get that angle going. They've been trying to follow up with that split Earth. It's just not reliable enough. It feels maybe when Sammy has his blink up, you can start to rely on just going blink snowball and kind of going from there. Again, you've already got Moose's own blink, and it just feels like with a Tiny, you have a lot more impact. You're much more durable up front with Grow. You have some good relocation spells for the toss back. The value is all there for us. For Wildcard, it's still good. You can be defensive with a snowball, I guess, with Sammy and the blink.
I mean, a reminder as well. Hold that thought. Lowdyne. Snowball is there. Sammy sees him on the high ground, and Arc might be able to get himself some kind of kill, though Lowdyne trying to be a real pain with the overgrowth, but not going to be enough in the end. Bait was trying to move in, so I suppose the overgrowth was there to set up, but was unable to close the gap in time. Moose does have that blink available now, so they are going to smoke up and try to make something happen.
Radiant are scanning.
Nothing going to come out of this. Nobody's showing at that top lane.
I think we might be able to sneak up to Arc. It could be a big one.
Oh, never mind. Get caught. Avalanche tosses there. Cookie to follow up. No in-range available, and that's a massive pick-off for Bait. He's not going to be too happy about that one.
He's had a rough game. He's still trying to build up. And at least the Battle Fury's done. Work on to the BKB Blink. He knows he's got to be a little bit more active this game. If he does get room in the jungle somehow, if they manage to get the D wards, clear out, could build up.
Let's get caught out. Sammy got him with the shards, but where's your follow-up damage? Well, Sunlight's going to try to move in, but this looks very risky. Stonebank's around the corner. Sunlight just trying to go for the kill on his own, but without the tombstone there, it's not going to be that easy. Shards again, but Stonebank does not get caught or blocked. Still, somehow Wildcard able to get out unscathed, but so will the side of Bait. Nobody dropping.
They're much happier about that. Tombstone down, pretty long cooldown. Flesh Golem as well, without the shard, pretty damn long.
Moose. Jump in, protect that Observer ward. Sammy toss right into the loving arms of Funnick, but again, no damage really there to finish off the job. Roshan also being started in the meantime. Bait, realizing how strong they are right now, will just go right for the Roshan pit. It seems like Wildcard might be aware it's happening, but they've really got no way into the pit. Sammy's going to try and give the vision, but it's just too late.
They have the right idea. Again, the team fight here for Wildcard is just super, super tough. And Bait just know it. They're playing to their strengths really well. Their scaling's going to kick in with the Shadow Fiend and the Troll even towards the late game if it somehow drags on there. Bit of a stare down.
Mid lane, make the jump in. They've caught out moves on that Tiny. That's a decent start. Dendi trying to get to work onto Babbage, but he has the Bloodstone up, so he's fine. Considering the state of the game, Wildcard, they'll happily take that.
Yeah, not the biggest kill in the world, but every kill counts when you're 7k behind at 20 minutes in. Wildcard, they're doing a pretty decent job of stalling for Arc. He's been away from the action for a while as they're forcing the fights elsewhere. You are still a bit concerned for the timings here on Bait. BKB up for Dendi, he's ready to go. Stonebank as well. Fresh charges on those two BKBs. They can actually look to do something with the Aegis now. Yes, they are clumping mid.
After something. There's going to be a 4-man smoke. Bait. We'll move in. Oh, he's a massive target to get started on. Enrage is there. Very, very nice Requiem, but the Enrage was already going. Arc going to try and TP out in time, but no, he gets rooted up. It's wishful thinking to try and make that happen, but he had to try something. Sammy does find moves. Do they really want this fight to go like this? It's a bit forced. They'll lose Sammy. Sunlight now to get chased down. Buyback from Sammy. They're really trying to force this fight. Kisses are out. Sunlight somehow still surviving with the Hood of Defiance. Stonebank now to move in with the Battle Trance. Sammy, he might just die back immediately. Babbage still going. Sammy's still alive. Trying to go after Funnick. Eventually should drop. In the meantime, though, they have found Stonebank. All right. So it's a very forced and messy engagement, but they do find the POS1 troll.
Yeah, just diving a little bit far onto that backline behind the tier 2 is punished for it. They sacrificed 2 supports to get that done. Overall, pretty nice for a Wildcard. I'd say it did cost a dive back on Sammy. But you managed to slow down the troll just a bit. You know, give Arc some space. Work towards that BKB. I think your major concern is still going to be Dendi. They still have this SF that's a massive issue. Damage is just going to keep scaling up. And your map control for Wildcard, it doesn't look particularly great. Look at this vision again from Bait behind that tier 1, tier 2 spot. And it's just never been rewarded. They just keep putting new wards in that area. And the information has always been solid. Wildcard has to know something's up. But if Bait keeps getting this kind of info, they can just keep playing like this.
Yeah. Quick reminder as well from our betting partner, esportsbets.io. Odds with 2.26 for Bait, Wildcard 1.60, and well, I mean, it's a very even game. I think this game really reflects why the odds are so even between these two teams. Bait certainly looking to try and force us to a game number 3. Off to a good start. AK advantage 23 minutes into this game. Top lane, Sunlight. Let me chase down. He'll go for a TP. Yeah, but no, the Avalanche just barely going to make it. And he got an ensnare first hit anyway. Stonebank, very, very lucky with that ensnare. I suppose moves would have been there anyway with the Avalanche had it not landed.
Yeah, You're a happy man right now on Stonebank. He's had a lot of room to farm and just build up. And his positioning's been a lot better in these fights. You know, he's right in the middle. He knows what he has to do on that troll. Wants to keep fighting. For Wildcard now, it's still all about just getting these BKBs and just trying to stall. I'm not sure what you do with your Undying at this point, except if he's an Aura bot. But he does still have some impact. If you can get the Tombstone in a pretty nice hidden cliff spot, you can have a lot of impact. But Bait has been very disciplined to fight away from those areas, so we haven't seen that Undying shine. They're just free to push. Again, with a Troll Warlord, it doesn't take too much to mount these objectives here, Mike.
Lowtime is currently watching Sammy. Sammy doesn't take the bounty, and that means Lowtime will take it. They can't believe it. They're like, well, hold on a minute, where'd this bounty rune go?
Yeah, need some vision, and it really just strains the economy of something like a Tusk. Kind of want some more items up. You want to be able to survive to try to use your snowball, but you don't really, you need to get the rewards out. Although, Lowtime.
If you find the treant, they'll force out the overgrowth. Shards will lock him down, but the problem is the whole team's here. Double kill, it looks like, to come out for Funny. Very nice setup there from Moose. Only saving grace is the Aegis expires here for Dendi. But I don't think Bait really mind.
No. And they still have a lot to play with outside of Overgrowth. They've got all their spells ready. And they can just look to push. This lineup still pushes quick tanks to SF.
Oh, gets caught out. Avalanche toss is there, but it's right back into Sunlight. Enrage popped very early on. Ensnare is there from Stoneback, but it won't lock him down long enough. Ark's going to be all right. BKB was forced out, though, so perhaps if you are Bait, you could keep going for this fight, knowing that it is down and you've still got your own up. Wildcard trying to move in to try and perhaps set up a defense for this tier 2 mid tower. He's there, Sunlight, it does connect. Moves meanwhile, a very nice avalanche toss combination back in onto Sammy. Stonebank, he's found Babbage. Bloodstone has been popped. There's your battle trance as well. Stonebank, is he going a little bit too far? It doesn't seem like it. They've got, oh, maybe he has! He does get the Leshrac, but he's given his own life for that. Still the toss back. They have found Dark on the Ursa. Enrage is there. He'll survive a little bit longer, tanking through all the damage, but they are just completely surrounding Ark. Finally going down. Bait, they'll take it. Into the mid tier 2 tower they go. And it's a one-team fight for them. Again, very messy, but still a win.
Yeah, you're happy with that for your Bait. Get some severe punishment out from Wildcard. You sacrifice Stonebank, but you know what? You're keeping Ark down. You're keeping that win condition from building up on Wildcard's end. You take a tier 2. They might find more here.
Scan out though. They know that they're on the high ground somewhere here, Wildcard. Maybe Sunlight doesn't. He's still trying to go for that siege creep, and he might get punished for this. Sunlight. I mean, they had the info. They literally scanned them out on the high ground. I'm not sure what he was expecting there.
Yeah, it's looking a bit rough for Wildcard. I'm not sure what's up. Like, from that early wrap around the map, it's been a little bit awkward for them. Bait, they've been capitalizing on it. You know, they've been playing really clean. They've been getting this build up. Dendi has been popping off since the laning phase. Wildcard 16k behind at 27 minutes in. That's a hard gap to close, especially considering Roche access for them is pretty much blocked with the outpost gun and with all the vision.
They're going to find Lowtime. They'll get themselves a support train kill. The biggest kill in the world, but it's definitely a start for Wildcard. Bait's still well and truly in control of this game, number 2. Babbage still moving forward. They're going to find moves on the Tiny. That's a bit of a big kill, but they kick him away. Nevertheless, Moose is still going to drop. That's another. In fact, that wasn't even a kick. That was a punch. Not sure how he ended up flying across the screen, but well, there you have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens sometimes. At least with these kills, Wildcard get to force in the mid just a little bit more. Bait probably not interested to defend that at 28 minutes. More than happy to just let that go. So you just play this farm game out anyway. The full Satanic for Stonebank not too far off, so a lot harder to kill when stats up. And aside for Wildcard, I mean, you've got the BKB on Arc with the Blink and Battle Fury, so Ursa isn't constrained to just being chased up. He does have some room to wiggle here. I think what we need to see now from Wildcard is how they find these opportunities to win. How do they take winning fights? It feels like it's very conditional. They've got to be able to initiate nicely with the global silence. At the same time, they need to bait out a couple of those BKBs, because if you don't manage to really fully silence the troll, back to that lack of control, Mike, he just pops a battle trance and he will win.
Absolutely. Just keep that farm going. Mind you, Wildcard, they have slowly started chipping away at that net worth gap that was there, now down to 13k, so it's a slow process, but they're getting there. It's going to keep buying more time though for Arc on this Ursa. He's still well and truly behind. There's a 5-man smoke, never mind buying time. They want to go for a fight. Roshan is up in 3 seconds, and that's going to be a very important Roshan for this game. Roshan number 2, of course. Free shards available as well. Counter smoke is out from Bait. Both teams want the fight. Big wrap around here from Wildcard through their own jungle. They scout out the Roshan pit with the shards and find nothing. They can hold their own triangle. It seems like Arc is going to try and force Roshan here. Maybe try and sneak it without Bait knowing. Bait, they'll move in. They've got to know something's happening. And Arc, he gets tossed up immediately. Did he get the enrage off? He did for now. He's going to go for the fight. Meanwhile, Dendi with a nice Requiem right onto the left rack, and Arc's gone as well. Forcing Roshan like that does not work out in their favor as they lose a third. That's going to be a free Roshan to go the way of Bait.
Yeah, it's just tough. Like, the moment you've got Dendi and Stonebank on top of you, you just can't win as this Ursa. You just get battle trance stop. It goes back to what Fear said. Stonebank will just win on that troll. Roshan to go their way with a free shard as well. Pretty damn happy here on Bait as they maintain this game.
Sammy.
What?
Don't give up, guys. Don't give up.
You got the regen rune?
I mean, yes he
I
did.
guess. Yeah. I don't think it's worth a life, but you know what? He got something for that fight.
Yeah, he got something, all right.
Was it worth it? Probably not. He got something.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did, John. It's in. I mean, the way the Wildcard are playing right now, it seems very uncoordinated. Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You're kind of in that situation where you look back and you're like, what did we draft exactly? What are we trying to do with this?
I mean, that's exactly what the panel was saying as well, right? Like, well, you know, the Silencer is pretty interesting. The Undying Core is different. And the parts don't just match this puzzle to solve. Well, again, Bait, they played this really well. Ag's coming out in Funnick soon. So he's got the Gobble up to spit out a really angry Stonebank roll. Just run them down. Last tier 2 of the map. Slowly being sieged away by Stonebank as well. Wildcard, they have high ground, somewhat. I would say they have high ground if Babatich had his shard. He doesn't quite have that. If he did, then well, they could hold high ground for quite a fair bit. At least he has the BKB, but I don't know. It doesn't feel great.
See how it pans out. Bait are going to force the high ground. Much stronger team right now. 20k net worth advantage. One tier 3 tower down. Very hard defense to expect here from Wildcard. The Daedalus now available on Dendi as well, so even more damage to be taken out. They are prepping for a defense. The Rax is basically already gone. Shards are there. Moose, he'll make sure he blocks them off with the Avalanche, and that's going to be about it. So take the Rax. There's going to be a 5-man smoke, Wildcard. They'll try to make something happen. Keep in mind, they are still fighting into the Aegis. And probably their own high ground. Like, this triangle is occupied right now. They are really wrapping around the long way. Moose, I believe, was on the vision there for a moment. So they know the Tiny's around somewhere, and they'll get started on him. In fact, Stonebank was caught out by Arc. They'll go back towards the Tiny, but they don't want to deal with the Troll Warlord. The Battle Trance was popped. Still Wildcard, just trying to run, but a massive overgrowth is there from our Tree and Protector. Hold them down and Arc. Well, he's running, but he is not going to make it out. Sammy, he's kind of been left behind as well. Nothing he can do. In fact, make that a third. Buybacks are incoming, but this game could just be very over very, very soon. If they want to keep going, they certainly can. I don't see how you stop them.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, the high ground just doesn't feel great for Wildcard right now. You have so much clear coming out from Bait. Stonebank probably just going to use that Aegis to reset, although it's actually not dropping low enough for that yet. He's maintained to stay alive. Still has a minute and a half anyway on that Aegis. Mega Creep is going to be coming up here, Mike. And for Wildcard, I really don't see a win condition to turn this around.
Toss back Babbage, he does get caught out immediately. The left track's already gone. Very, very tough affair here for Wildcard, but great news for Bait. It looks like they should be able to successfully drag this out to a game number 3. Toss in, rather spit out. Stonebank. Sammy, he'll get caught by an avalanche toss. He's gone. Sunlight trying to run, but the ensnares are out. Stonebank's got him. He'll still be able to force stuff away. Dendi dropping rather low himself on the SF. Back in onto Arc Ursa. Just lock him down, and Quark, he's going to try and fight, but realizes he really can't. And eventually Dendi will have his way with him. That's it. GG is called. And that means, John, we'll have our first Game 3 of NA Div 1.
Yeah, it's finally happened. 3 games coming out here for Wildcard versus Bait. And Bait play really well. You know, Dendi comes back in, he